Hey, this is Jeremy from Unito, here to give you a quick overview of our Azure DevOps ClickUp integration. On the left, I have ClickUp, and on the right, I'm in Azure DevOps. And I'm going to show you how you can use Unito to quickly share issues, statuses, comments, two ways between both these applications. In Azure, I already see I have this analytics dashboard is throwing up for a 4 errors issue. With a bit more detail for my team in ClickUp to go be informed of and look into. So what I'll want to do is add a tag here called bug and hit save. What Unito is doing is looking for this tag continuously across the projects and boards that I've set this up with. And as soon as it notices that this bug label has been added, it's going to take this task and drop it into my current known issues bucket over in ClickUp. And so when I hit refresh over in ClickUp and move over onto my list side, I can actually find this analytics dashboard error with all the same information, the title, the description, the status. I've only have a few fields mapped, but all of that information is going to basically sync over. And what's super powerful about Unito is that it flows both ways. So if I add a comment here that says, hey, take a look at this issue ASAP, that information is going to be synced back into Azure. If I go back to this current known issues, I'll show you I have another issue with this error with two-factor validation that's also synced with Azure, and that actually even has a subtask in ClickUp called investigate the issue. These kinds of relationships can be mapped. And so if I look at this error with 2FA validation over on the DevOps side, I can even actually see that I have this issue appear as a child issue over on the Azure DevOps side. So it gives me this really, really in-depth visibility and flexibility that's just super helpful when you're coordinating across multiple teams and across multiple tools. So we see already how you can kind of create these two-way flows or how it works inside of ClickUp and Azure. Let's go take a look inside of Unito to see what's going on behind the scenes. So I'm now inside of Unito. Let me just show you how you can create your own from scratch. The first step is just connecting the tools that you want to connect, choosing the accounts and the projects. Like in our case, it was bug reports, and then you would choose the corresponding one over on the ClickUp side. I'm not going to go through that since I already have a flow which is set up and is working, and I want to just go take a look at how I've set it up behind the scenes. So the first part, once we've set up the actual projects and list, is to choose your flow direction. And this is just deciding the direction that items should be created in. And so in this case, it's a one-way sync between Azure and ClickUp. So only the issues in Azure are going to be pulled into ClickUp. ClickUp issues that are created, even if they fit the rest of our parameters, aren't going to be brought into Azure, but you can easily choose to do that two ways. And it's not going to impact the actual fields. So the description, the tasks, that can still be two ways, even though it's a one-way flow direction. The next step is to choose the parameters or the rules that define which tasks or work items inside of Azure are going to be brought into ClickUp. And so in my case, I had decided that I wanted to make sure that the tag bug was on any Azure DevOps issue. It could be based on severity. It could be based on one or multiple values. It's entirely configurable based on the specific workflow that you have in mind. And then the last step is just to make sure that all of the data that exists on an Azure issue is brought into ClickUp. Things like our attachments, our tags, our subtasks are all brought over. A lot of this is going to be mapped automatically inside of Unito. And so you have this really, really deep granularity to make sure that everything maps one-to-one. Once you've set up the fields, that's pretty much it. There's a lot more information that you can find inside Unito, and link to specific work items, the status of the flow, and some more advanced options as well. But if you do have any questions, you're always welcome to reach out directly at unito.io. Thanks so much.